Have you ever had someone in your life who seemed to care, but deep down, their actions told a different story? It's that uneasy feeling when their words sound sweet, but their support vanishes the moment you need it most. Fake care. It's more common than we realize, and the damage it does, it's not just emotional, it drains your peace, your energy, and your trust in others. But here's the truth. Stoic philosophy offers us the tools to recognize these signs before they take a toll on our mental and emotional well-being. Let's uncover the 12 subtle yet powerful signs that someone is pretending to care about you, and learn how Stoicism can guide you to protect your peace. In today's fast-paced world, it's more important than ever to protect your peace of mind, and one of the biggest threats to that peace: fake care. When someone pretends to care, it not only drains your energy, it can also leave lasting scars on your trust. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we can control, and that includes the relationships we choose to nurture. By learning to identify the signs of fake concern, we take a vital step in creating a life filled with authenticity and true connection. Before we begin, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me continue spreading Stoic wisdom with you. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss insights that could transform your mindset and relationships. Now, let's dive into the 12 signs someone is pretending to care about you. Sign number 1, they only compliment you when others are watching. Have you ever noticed someone who only praises you when other people are around but never takes the time to acknowledge your efforts privately? That's a clear sign of fake concern. It's as if they're more interested in looking good in front of others than genuinely supporting you. Imagine Sarah, who always sings her co-worker Emma's praises during team meetings. She tells everyone how impressive Emma is at her job, how hard she works, and how dedicated she is. But when Emma approaches her outside of the meeting, asking for help on a challenging project, Sarah is nowhere to be found. In fact, she barely even responds to Emma's messages. Emma starts to feel that Sarah's compliments were nothing more than empty words meant to create a public image. This behavior is a perfect example of someone pretending to care. Complimenting you in front of others gives the illusion of support, but real care is about showing up when it counts, when it's just the two of you and no audience to impress. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In this situation, the way Sarah acts in private reveals her true character. Stoicism teaches us that our value is not dependent on others' opinions or performative acts. True care is not about seeking praise, it's about showing genuine support and helping one another without an audience. To protect yourself from fake care, pay attention to who's there for you behind closed doors. Are they only around when there's something to gain? Or do they show up when you need them most, without any spotlight? Surround yourself with people who offer their true support, even when there's no one watching. Real care builds trust and makes you feel valued, not used. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In other words, be someone who shows up when it matters, not just when it's convenient or publicly advantageous. That's how you can distinguish genuine care from hollow gestures. Sign number 2, they only reach out when they need something. Have you ever noticed someone who only reaches out to you when they need a favor or something from you? But when you're the one going through a tough time, they're nowhere to be found. That's a clear sign of someone pretending to care. Imagine Jake, who has a friend, Mark, who only ever contacts him when he needs help moving, borrowing money, or getting a favor. Whenever Mark needs something, he's quick to reach out, acting like they're the best of friends. But when Jake has an issue, a personal problem, or just needs someone to talk to, Mark's always too busy or unresponsive. Jake begins to feel like Mark sees their friendship as more of a transaction than a genuine connection. This kind of behavior is a clear indication that someone is using you rather than truly caring about you. A friendship built on this kind of dynamic will always leave you feeling empty and taken for granted. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In this context, it's the person who only seeks to take, who is never there for you unless they want something, who is truly poor in spirit. They're more focused on what they can extract from you rather than forming a meaningful, reciprocal relationship. Stoicism teaches us that we should seek relationships where both parties offer value and support, not one where only one side is giving. To protect yourself from people who only show up when they need something, it's important to recognize this pattern early. Pay attention to how often someone reaches out to you when they have nothing to gain. Are they there for you during the difficult times, or do they only show up when it's convenient for them? The takeaway here is simple. Surround yourself with people who offer support and care without expecting something in return. True friends show up not just when it benefits them, but when you need them most. True care doesn't feel transactional, it feels reciprocal and genuine. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Be the kind of friend who offers care freely and seek out those who do the same. Sign number 3, they avoid you in times of trouble. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to disappear when you're going through a tough time? They avoid your calls, your texts, and act distant, but they're there when everything's going well. That's a clear sign they might be pretending to care. Picture this. Sarah is having a rough week at work. Her boss is constantly criticizing her, and she feels overwhelmed. She reaches out to her friend, Emma, hoping for some support. Emma doesn't answer her messages or calls. Days pass, and Sarah starts to wonder if Emma's even noticed. But then, as soon as Sarah shares some good news about a new opportunity, Emma is right there, excited and cheering her on. It feels almost like Emma is only interested in being around when the mood is positive and the news is good. This kind of behavior shows that someone may be more interested in the rewards of being around you, your successes, your moments of happiness, rather than truly being there for you when you need them most. They care about the fun, easy moments, but when things get tough, they run in the other direction. As Marcus Aurelius said, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. In other words, instead of waiting around for someone who only shows up when things are good, rise above it. True care isn't just about supporting someone when it's convenient. It's about standing by them when they need it most, in their darkest hours. To protect yourself, recognize that true friends are the ones who stick by you through thick and thin. They'll show up when it's hard, not just when it's easy. Keep your circle small and make sure it's filled with people who value you in both your brightest and darkest moments. Take a moment to reflect. When you need support, do you have those who genuinely show up? Those are the people who truly care, and they're the ones you should invest your time and energy into, not the ones who only come around when things are going well. Sign number 4, they only reach out when they need something. Have you ever noticed someone who only reaches out to you when they need help or want something from you? But when it's your turn to ask for support, they're nowhere to be found. That's a clear sign they might be pretending to care. Imagine this. Alex has a friend, Brian, who always calls him when he needs advice on a personal issue or help with a task. Every time Brian is in a bind, Alex is there, ready to lend a hand. But when Alex is struggling, whether it's personal or work-related, Brian seems to disappear. Alex tries to reach out, but Brian is always too busy or unavailable. It leaves Alex wondering, am I just here to be used? This is a classic sign of someone who's only around for their own benefit. They value the connection only as long as it serves them. Their care is based on what you can provide them, not a genuine interest in your well-being or needs. It feels one-sided and leaves you drained, as if you're the only one giving without receiving any real support in return. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus reminds us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight highlights that our worth isn't defined by those who only reach out when they need something, but by how we choose to respond to them. True care is about mutual respect and support, not transactional relationships. To protect yourself, learn to recognize when someone's only interested in you for what they can get. Make sure your relationships are built on mutual care, where both parties are willing to offer help and support, not just take. As you move forward, choose to invest in connections that nourish and uplift you, not those that drain you dry. Ask yourself, are you giving more than you're receiving in this relationship? If so, it might be time to reevaluate the dynamic and surround yourself with people who truly care. Sign number 5. They never celebrate your successes. Have you ever had someone in your life who seems to vanish when you achieve something great? They'll be quick to offer sympathy during tough times, but when you succeed, they're nowhere to be found. That's a clear sign someone might be pretending to care about you. Picture this. Maya recently landed her dream job, something she worked hard for over the past year. Excited, she shares the news with her close friend, Linda. But instead of celebrating with her, Linda brushes it off with a quick, "That's nice," and continues talking about her own problems. Maya feels deflated, wondering why Linda isn't showing any real joy for her success. It's as if Linda's only interested in Maya when she's down and needs support, not when she's thriving. This behavior often stems from insecurity or jealousy. People who pretend to care might struggle to truly celebrate your victories because they're too focused on their own issues or feel threatened by your success. True care doesn't compete or diminish your happiness, it amplifies it. Real friends lift you up when you win, genuinely sharing in your joy. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely celebrate your wins will elevate your mindset and spirit, just as you should do for them. True care is mutual, and it's in the shared joy of success where real bonds are strengthened. So if someone's not celebrating with you, take a step back and evaluate the relationship. True friends will stand by you in your triumphs as much as they do during your struggles. Protect your energy by focusing on relationships where support flows both ways. Don't settle for those who are only there to listen to your complaints but disappear when it's time to celebrate your victories. Sign number 6. They only reach out when they need something. Have you ever noticed someone who only reaches out to you when they need help or something from you, but never just to check in? It can be draining to feel like you're only valuable to someone when they need something from you. That's a strong sign they're pretending to care about you. Think about Alex, who has a friend, Jake. Jake never calls unless he needs a favor, whether it's borrowing money, asking for a ride, or needing help with a task. But when Alex is going through a tough time, or when he's celebrating a milestone, Jake is nowhere to be found. Alex starts to wonder, does Jake even care about me? Or is he just using me for his own needs? This pattern is one of the most telling signs of fake concern. A person who truly cares about you reaches out not just when they need something, but because they value you as a friend, as a person. They check in on you, listen to your struggles, and celebrate your wins. Genuine care doesn't operate on a transactional basis. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If someone only reaches out when it benefits them, it's important to recognize it for what it is. You have the power to choose how you respond. You deserve relationships built on mutual respect and care, not just convenience for one side. So, what can you do about it? Pay attention to the people who show up for you without asking for anything in return. True care is built on balance and mutual support. If someone's behavior makes you feel used or drained, it's okay to take a step back. Surround yourself with those who care for you genuinely, not just when it's easy or convenient for them. True friends give without expecting anything back, and they reach out because they value you, no strings attached. Sign number 7, they avoid difficult conversations. Have you ever noticed how some people act like they care about you, but whenever things get tough, they disappear? When real issues arise, they avoid addressing the problem and steer clear of difficult conversations. This is a clear sign that someone might be pretending to care. Let's take Emma, for example. She has a close friend, Mia, who always seems to be there for the fun times, the weekends out, the lunch breaks, the casual chats. But when Emma faces a personal crisis, like a family issue or a tough decision at work, Mia suddenly becomes distant. Instead of offering support or at least an open ear, Mia avoids the topic entirely or changes the subject. Emma feels alone, wondering, does Mia really care about me? Or is she just interested in the good times? This kind of behavior reveals a lack of emotional depth and a reluctance to engage in the hard parts of a relationship. True care isn't just about the easy moments. It's about standing by someone during their struggles, offering comfort and providing guidance when needed. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. If someone avoids tough conversations or doesn't want to deal with your pain, it's a reflection of their own emotional limitations, not a reflection of you. It's easy to be around when things are light, but the real test of care comes when things are heavy. So, what should you do in these situations? Protect your emotional space by recognizing when someone is avoiding real connection. Surround yourself with those who can handle the difficult conversations, who won't shy away from your struggles, and who offer their support in times of need. Those are the people who show genuine care, not just when it's convenient, but when it matters most. Remember, true care means showing up, even when it's hard. People who care for you will stand by you through thick and thin, no matter how tough the conversation. Sign number 8, they only care when it benefits them. Have you ever noticed someone who suddenly becomes overly concerned about your well-being? But only when there's something in it for them. This is a classic sign that someone is pretending to care about you. Take Mark's experience. He has a friend named Jack who always reaches out when he needs something, maybe advice for his job or even help with a favor. But when Mark is going through a hard time, Jack is nowhere to be found. He doesn't check in, doesn't offer support, and doesn't show any interest in how Mark is feeling. It's as if Mark only matters when Jack stands to gain something, but when the tables turn, Jack's care seems to vanish. This kind of behavior is an indication that the person's care is performative, centered more on their own needs rather than genuine concern for you. True care isn't about keeping score or seeking personal gain from a relationship. It's about being there when someone needs you, even if you don't stand to gain anything in return. Seneca reminds us, associate with those who will make a better man of you. Genuine care doesn't come with hidden motives. It's about uplifting each other and supporting one another through challenges without expecting something in return. So, what should you do in these situations? Take a step back and evaluate the people around you. Protect your energy and prioritize those who offer support without strings attached, who care for you when you're at your lowest, not just when there's something to gain. Remember, true care is unconditional and selfless. People who genuinely care about you will be there for you when it's hard, not just when it's convenient for them. Sign number 9, they only acknowledge your struggles when it's convenient. Have you ever noticed someone who pretends to care about your struggles, but only when it's easy for them to step in? When the situation requires real effort or sacrifice, they suddenly become distant. This is a sure sign that someone is pretending to care about you. Think about Lisa. She has a friend, Emma, who will offer kind words whenever Lisa faces a minor inconvenience. If Lisa mentions being stressed about work, Emma will offer some quick advice. But when Lisa is going through something truly difficult, like a family crisis or personal loss, Emma pulls back. She doesn't show up, doesn't offer support, and might even avoid talking about it entirely. This selective care shows that Emma is only willing to engage when it's convenient, when it's easy, and doesn't require her to make a real effort. True friends, however, are the ones who show up when things get tough. They don't pick and choose when to care based on their comfort levels. Epictetus reminds us it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Genuine care isn't about swooping in when it's easy. It's about showing up, even when the situation is messy or uncomfortable. So what can you do? Look for those who don't just acknowledge your struggles when it's simple to do so, but the ones who stand beside you when life gets challenging. Recognize their consistency, their willingness to show up without hesitation, and keep them close. True care is unwavering. It doesn't come and go based on convenience. It's about being there, no matter how tough the situation is. Sign number 10, they only reach out when they need something. Have you ever felt like the only time someone reaches out to you is when they want something in return? That's a clear sign that they're pretending to care about you. Take Tom, for example. He has a friend, Alex, who rarely contacts him unless there's a favor to ask. If Alex is going through a tough time, Tom might send a text or offer a quick, polite check-in, but it's always followed by a request. Can you help me move? Can you lend me some money? Can you cover for me at work? The pattern is clear. The only time Alex values Tom is when he needs something from him. This kind of behavior isn't about genuine care. It's about using people when it's convenient. Someone who truly cares about you will reach out not just when they need something, but to check in, to offer support, or simply to spend time with you without any ulterior motives. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." True friendship and care aren't transactional. Genuine relationships are built on mutual respect, not one-sided exchanges. So, how can you protect yourself from this kind of fake care? Be mindful of the patterns. If someone consistently reaches out only when they need something, it's time to set boundaries. Real relationships require effort from both sides. Don't settle for relationships where you're the one always giving and never receiving. To ensure your well-being, surround yourself with people who value you for who you are, not just for what you can offer. Genuine care is mutual, not based on convenience or selfish gain. Sign number 11, they never take accountability for their actions. Have you ever been in a situation where someone pretends to care about you, but can never admit when they've done something wrong? Instead, they shift the blame or make excuses. That's a clear sign they aren't showing genuine concern for you. Take Jenna, for example. She has a close friend, Lily, who always acts supportive until something goes wrong. One day, Jenna invited Lily to a dinner party she had been planning for weeks. But when Lily showed up late, she blamed it on traffic, despite the fact that Jenna had reminded her multiple times about the start time. When Jenna mentioned how it threw off the entire event, Lily brushed it off with a quick, "It's not a big deal," and never acknowledged how her actions affected Jenna. This pattern of avoiding responsibility isn't about care. True care involves recognizing how your actions impact others, taking accountability, and making amends when necessary. People who pretend to care won't do this. They deflect and downplay their mistakes. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, teaches us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." True care requires introspection and a willingness to admit fault to make things right. When someone avoids this, it reveals that their care is only surface level, focused more on self-preservation than on building a real connection. To protect yourself from this, set clear boundaries and call out this behavior when you notice it. If someone constantly deflects responsibility and never apologizes when they hurt you, it's important to recognize that they might not truly value your feelings. Real care involves both giving and receiving feedback, growing together, and recognizing each other's humanity. Surround yourself with people who can admit when they've made a mistake and will work to fix it, not just pretend it's no big deal. True care is built on respect, understanding, and accountability. Sign number 12. They only reach out when they need something. Have you ever noticed someone who only contacts you when they need help or something from you, but disappears when you're in need of support? That's a clear sign they might be pretending to care about you. Consider Mark, who always seems to show up when his friend Tom has something to offer. When Mark needs help moving, Tom is the first person he calls. Yet, when Tom goes through a tough time, like losing his job, Mark is nowhere to be found. He doesn't check in, offer a word of encouragement, or offer help. He's simply absent. When Tom reaches out, it's like Mark's busy with other things. This behavior repeats time and time again. The Stoics teach us that true friendship isn't about taking, but about giving, about being there for others, not just when it's convenient for you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Genuine care means showing up, not just when you have something to gain, but especially when your presence is needed. It's about being there through both good times and bad, not just in moments where you can get something in return. To protect yourself, take note of how often someone is there when you're not asking for anything. If they disappear when you're vulnerable or need support, it's important to recognize the pattern. Genuine connections are based on mutual care and understanding, not transactional relationships where someone only reaches out when they need something. Surround yourself with people who are present, not just when they have a favor to ask, but when you need a friend. Genuine care is about consistent presence and support, whether or not it benefits the other person. In conclusion, recognizing fake care and embracing Stoic wisdom. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control others, but we can control how we respond. In a world where many are quick to show surface-level affection, it's important to recognize when someone's care is only performative. Genuine relationships are built on consistent support, mutual respect, and authenticity. By applying Stoic wisdom, we can maintain our peace and avoid being swayed by shallow interactions that leave us feeling drained or unappreciated. The core lesson here is simple. True care is shown through actions, not just words. As the Stoics believed, our peace and inner strength come from understanding what is within our control and letting go of what isn't. When we focus on the authenticity of others' actions, we preserve our emotional well-being and learn to guard ourselves against false connections. Take a moment to evaluate the relationships in your life. Who truly supports you when you need it most? Who shows up when it matters, not just when it's convenient? These are the people who add value to your life. Focus your energy on nurturing relationships that bring out the best in you. Be mindful of the ones that only appear when they need something. And remember, you have the power to choose who you allow into your inner circle. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe. And remember, true care is rare. But Stoic wisdom can help you build relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. Surround yourself with those who help you grow. And always strive to be the type of person who offers real care to others. Take control of your emotional peace and choose your connections wisely. Stay grounded, stay strong, and live with purpose.